the thing I want to talk about is like what it's been like to actually purchase land and what you've gone through as of right now to think about building a property.
Buying land is the easy part.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Right now.
And it's the easy part.
Yeah. Well, talk about how cheap it is. I mean, how cheap is the land that you're buying?
We're paying the same amount for a quarter of an acre that I paid for 6 acres, but...
But where?
It's a lot closer to Salt Lake City.
But where are you buying it?
In the mountains.
In the mountains, yeah. Park City. Park City School District.
Yep.
What are you paying for the land?
$65,000.
$65,000. So what's been the biggest challenge so far for you?
Biggest challenge is due diligence. Finding out what you have to put on the land that technically adds no value.
Yeah.
Power, water, sewer, gas, other fees, fire fees, recreation fees.
Yeah. So, I mean, how much is that?
$30,000.
$30,000 just to get all this stuff into your property. Not digging a foundation or anything,
haven't
right?
dug anything.
Yeah.
Haven't dug a hole or put any structure up.
Wow. It's huge.
So you're into the land $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000, and you haven't even built a structure.
Nope.
Okay, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, builders easy to come by right now.
All right, talk to me about that.
Anybody will bid anything, whether they should be bidding it or not. Getting a hold of builders pretty easy, I think, because I work in that business. So I'm used to calling contractors and dealing with them.
And you've talked to how many different contractors right now?
I've talked to 5 builders and a couple house designers.
Okay.
Not architects, but designers.
Just designers. So, I mean, give me an idea of like the variation in costs that you've talked about so far. From one house builder, to another. How much does it vary?
So the quotes that we've gotten, all the way from Joe Schmo, who does everything on the construction site, to the big guys who do nothing on the construction site. They put you in a program. There's a $60,000 or $70,000 swing.
Do you see any value in that discrepancy?
Some of it,
okay,
we do, but we're not all the way on the high end.
Okay,
we see some value in having somebody who can work with you to design a house and then build what you want. But where we start losing value is when we start losing flexibility. Where you're stuck with 7 can lights and 12-inch tiles. If you want 18-inch tiles, that's an upgrade fee, and here's the upgrade fee. If you want undermount sinks, it's this much more. Oh, that extra, toilet seat, the chrome on the toilet seat, that's an extra $42, and everything has a charge. Okay. So losing that flexibility is...
So that's a big discrepancy between from one to another, right?
Yeah. The small guy though says, well, you can just probably go to Home Depot and pick out your cabinets and whatever you pick, well, that's what I'll have installed, and that's kind of the low end where I don't really want to end up. I could do that myself. I might as well
become a general contractor, right?
Be the general.
Yeah.
It's hard to get financing if you're the general, but it can be done.
Is there any tips on financing that you think, from building a new construction property and buying a property and actually having to finance, are there any tips that you could offer anybody? You've done a lot of work on this, Rob, so...
I've probably done, 40 hours of work on financing.
Just financing, yeah.
I would say the more financing options you can get in writing, so you can take time to actually understand them, the better. Okay. People talk fast and tell you what their fees are, and unless you ask them what their fees are, you don't really know what they're charging you for. Okay.
What about like local banks versus big banks? Is there a difference that you've noticed?
I talked to lots of local big banks. I talked to lots of credit unions. I talk to mortgage brokers. Essentially, the construction industry new construction has gone away.
Okay.
And so many people are roped into, if they're going to build a new house, they're roped into the big contractor that can finance their house. So the construction loans that are just pure construction loans have gone away.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really hard to get. They have really tight requirements on qualifications and loan to value, and they actually go by loan to construction costs, so you end up with a bigger out-of-pocket expense, which obviously decreases risk for them. But
So let me ask you one final question. I mean, if there's one tip right now, based upon what you've learned as an engineer, by the way, that you could pass on to anybody else who's thinking about buying land and building new construction homes, what would it be? One tip.
take your time.
Take your time.
Yep. I have no idea how some of these people go in, what seems like they go in blind, because we have turned up cost after cost after cost. I mean, over the 3 months that we've been working on this, just everywhere there's all these costs. And had we just said, $65,000 for land, $200 for a house, let's get her done, you're not gonna get it done for that. You know, you're gonna add close to $50,000 in soft costs.
So you have to pay attention to a lot of the little things, right? Connection fees and impact fees and
fees, impact
electric
fees,
and
finance charges. You know, if you end up with a couple loans, you're going to end up closing a couple times.
Okay.
Those soft costs just skyrocket.
Yeah.
Things.
Cool, man. Thank you for your input.
Yeah.